We all want to speak in English fluently, right? We all want to sound polished and professional while speaking in English. But the biggest question is, how can we become like that? How can we get that level of fluency where we are able to speak English fluently without making mistakes? Because whether you believe it or not, but most of us live in such environment where we don't find people who we can practice with. We do not have the right exposure where we can find English learners all around us because most of us live in environment where we have people who speak in Hindi or any mother tongue. Then how can we become like that? How can we get that level of fluency where we sound polished and professional? I'm sure you must have heard people saying that you should be following this step, you should try this strategy, you can practice in this way. But most of the steps do not work for everybody. I myself have tried so many strategies, so many tactics to improve my English because I'm someone who does not have the right environment to practice speaking in English. So I tried as many steps as I could to practice my speaking skill. Some of them worked best for me, whereas there were many steps which did not work for me at all. But out of all the strategies and tips I followed to improve my English, I am recommending one of the strategies that has given me the best result. And it is one of the steps that's the most underrated yet the most powerful steps when it comes to becoming fluent in English just by yourself. This is one of the most unconventional step because most people find it really awkward, but I believe that if you focus on this one strategy when you do not have the right environment, you can become fluent in English just by yourself, like I did. I'm talking about speaking in front of camera. I know you have heard about it quite many times before, but I truly believe that speaking in front of camera is one of the most underrated yet the most beneficial step you could follow to improve your English and become fluent in English just by yourself. I vividly remember when I first started speaking in English, I was literally horrible at this language. I was not able to construct proper sentences, and my confidence, it was below zero. Honestly, I was really one of the horrible speakers, but just by focusing on this one step, my English has improved significantly. Sure, I did focus on some other steps that did play a significant role to improve my English, but speaking in front of camera is one of the steps that has given me the best result. It changed my English. It did not only help me to improve my English, but it changed my entire personality overall. See, speaking in front of camera does not only have one benefit, but just by focusing on this one strategy, you could get so many benefits. First of all, speaking in front of camera is going to improve your pronunciation and help you to stress certain syllables. Now, when you are talking with others or even with yourself, nobody is going to rectify your mistakes. Nobody is going to make you realize about your mistakes unless you have the tutor who is supposed to guide you. But just by focusing on this one strategy, speaking in front of camera and recording yourself, you could get to know about your errors, about where you are going wrong and how could you correct them. You are not only going to understand about your pronunciation and the stress you bring to certain syllables or the tone or the pitch you have while speaking in English. You are going to acknowledge everything. And trust me, if you focus on this one step, you are going to sound way more polished and professional than you are right now. I remember when I first started speaking in English, I used to suck at pronunciation. I'm still not that good at it, but I believe that I have improved so much over time. And it happened because I kept recording myself. I kept listening to how I sound when I speak in English. And it has played a significant role to change my English and the way I pronounce certain words. So, if you're someone who is struggling to pronounce certain words, or if you feel that you do not sound impressive while speaking in English, or your voice sucks, or any other reason you have, then please focus on recording yourself and then listen, because when you listen to your speech or the video you have recorded, it will help you to understand what you can rectify and how could you get it better. Speaking in front of camera does not only improve your pronunciation, but it will also help you to understand about your grammatical errors as well as the vocabulary, because I feel vocabulary is one of the most important steps when it comes to making you sound impressive and help you to sound professional. Because most of the time we keep repeating certain words, and it happens to me too. Sometimes I pick any specific word and I will literally be using that word in every single sentence, which is quite funny. But when I record myself and listen to my speech, it helps me to understand that this is one of the words which I have been using repeatedly, and now I need to use the alternative, or I need to find any synonym so that I can sound better. And it has helped me to understand about my grammatical errors as well. Because most of the time, especially when I'm writing, I do not understand about my grammatical errors. But when I speak and record myself, it helps me to understand that this is not how this sentence is supposed to sound like. Because I heard someone saying that if you want to speak in English fluently, keep recording yourself, because in this way you are going to get better at your grammatical errors without having realized about it. And the most essential thing we cannot forget to talk about is confidence. I truly believe that speaking in English fluently is more about confidence than any other thing. It does not matter what you know about certain things. It does not matter what degree or skills you have been holding, or it does not matter how many information or knowledge you have. But if you do not have confidence, nothing is going to work for you. But I feel that just by speaking in front of camera, recording yourself and analyzing your mistakes and what you can correct, you can build immense amount of confidence within yourself. And that confidence is something you have built over time. So it will be natural. You don't really have to fake it till you make it. There's a quote that you have to fake it till you make it. But I feel if you keep recording yourself, keep analyzing your mistakes, your errors, and the way you sound, the way you uh, construct certain words, the way you speak, everything is going to be on track because you have been focusing on this one step with consistency. So, if you're someone who has not been focusing on speaking in front of camera, this is my humble request that please, if you genuinely want to improve your English and want to speak in English fluently, please focus on recording yourself. It does not have to be 30 minutes long. You could record yourself for 5 minutes, even for 2 minutes, but make sure that you are doing it consistently. And once you have done that, now you have to analyze your mistakes. Look at your videos, how exactly you sound like, what kind of tonality and pitch you bring to the voice, how you stress certain syllables, as well as the kind of vocabulary and grammar structure you have been using. And the most important step is your body language, because in this way you are going to improve your overall personality. So I would highly recommend you to follow this one step. So that's all about this video. I hope I will be back with an interesting video very soon. Bye bye.